A massive thank you to Michael, Jason, Gong, Nick and Jeffrey for subscribing to the channel. If you're not already featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 16 of Season 1 of our F1 22 My Team Career Mode. Yes, today we return to the Temple of Speed. Yes, we're back, ready for the Italian Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the last video from Zandvoort, would recommend going back and check that out. Safe to say, you know, maybe we're going to blame the fact I've been feeling a bit under the weather. The rage with F1 22 has taken a hold, and I think, yeah, it reared its ugly head last time out at the Dutch Grand Prix weekend. So yeah, if you want to see me, I know some of you find it quite funny when I get a bit feisty on the F1 game. So if you want to see that, yeah, definitely recommend going back and checking out yesterday's upload. But today though, yeah, back at Monza. Of course, plenty of happy memories around this circuit in the past, so we'll have to wait and see as to whether that continues on today. Of course, if you're new around here as well, please make sure you get yourself subscribed for daily F1 22 content. We've just hit 67,000 subscribers, so getting very, very close now to 70k. And of course, the goal by the end of the year, 100,000. So if you're not already, it would be massively appreciated if you could help me get one step closer. But yeah, feeling a bit better at the moment. Even better the fact we've now officially jumped Williams again in the performance chart, and we should jump Aston Martin over the next couple of race weekends as well. They're continuing on the fighting form. We've got some more major upgrades in the works at the moment. But having a look then championship-wise, Charles Leclerc still running away with it. 63-point lead now in the championship over his teammate Carlos Sainz there. Hamilton and Max Verstappen still sat in 3rd and 4th place there with Sergio Perez, of course, after his win last weekend out, meaning that Red Bull now are ahead of Mercedes once more in the battle for P3. We desperately need a big result, though, at some point this year. Still sat in P19 overall in the championship, but more recently this car has been good around the high-speed circuits. Of course, we scored points at the other Italian Grand Prix at Imola. Can we do the same today? Let's get into it then, first of all, as always, with the Pirelli Hotlap. Right, well, here we are then, back at Monza for once again another average speed zone challenge. Of course, the Temple of Speed, the fastest track on the F1 calendar. And could you really do this in anything else that wasn't a Ferrari around this venue? I don't think so. We need 140 miles an hour for the gold score there as we head through the, well, it's not quite an all-new corner, but of course it's got an all-new name of the Alboreto curve as we try to avoid getting any wheel spin on the way out. Up towards the line, I think we might only get the bronze. Only bronze there. That wasn't very good. I mean, we've got 3 attempts, so I'm actually going to try and see if I can improve this one. And then out of the final corner, then final run. Let's see how much more pace we can find. I think this one might just be silver. Oh, we just missed out on gold there. But you know what? We'll take that then. A silver medal here to kickstart the Italian GP weekend. I would quite happily own a Ferrari Roma. I think I may as well add that. You know, if you're watching this and you've got one that you don't want, send it my way. Yeah, missed out there by 0.4 miles an hour. Let's get then into practice here from Italy. Well, I'm hoping we get a nice sunny weekend then here from Monza, because safe to say we've had far too many wet races during the European leg of this first season. But often, yeah, we find this track normally pretty good for trying to pick up some nice easy R&D points as well. And long may that continue as, a little bit struggling then to get the car slowed down at turn 1. Big braking zones, that seems to be where I'm really struggling on F1 22. But, you know, that'll come in more practice, things like that. Plus, I think I'm going to try and do this first season. I'm going to try and tweak my pedals ever so slightly as well. But, yeah, just got to try and really avoid a lot of the curbs around here, actually. Those orange sausage curbs, you used to be able to absolutely mount them on past F1 games. And then on F1 2021, they completely ruined that. I mean, you can brake super late now through the final corner here. I mean, we're looking at about the 50-metre ball, but out of the final turn, we are just about going to clutch up the purple score there. That's what I'd like to see. Right, and let's jump in then to our race simulation run. Fingers crossed here. We're just going to have a little bit more pace as I get more and more used to the car. Normally I do the race sim runs last, unless of course I've got to do a qualifying sim run. Then I like to save that one, you know, the best till last. It's 100-metre board there down at turn 1. Okay, you can get the car slowed down there, and that's quite good, actually. It means I'm not trying to dance on the throttle through the first apex as well, because I'm still worried about trying to get the car slowed down. That's good to know. 2022 cars have got impressive brakes when you consider how heavy the vehicles are now. End of the first lap then, where once again, only just going to scrape the purple, purple score effectively. You know, we just need 2 more laps like that, and that'll be enough. It is quite weird, to be honest, just sort of having to retrain my brain as to how late you can brake round here on F122. Haven't noticed it around a lot of circuits. But yeah, apparently the case here at Monza that you can just brake a whole lot later. I wonder it's because, of course, the F1 2021 cars were just so ridiculously fast down the straights there, as that is not the line through the first chicane. But yeah, very, very weird. I mean, we'll take it, but very, very weird. Despite the mistake then down at the first chicane, at the final turn we go. That is going to be another purple score here. We need the R&D points in the final 7 races of this year, and that's a good way to keep going. Right, final run then, qualifying sim. Let's just try and make sure we're ready and prepared for qualifying Saturday around one of the fastest circuits in Formula 1. Of course, no sprint weekend here at Monza this season. I feel like on the game, sprints will work quite well in comparison to real life around more venues. So yeah, might try some different tracks for sprint weekends in the future as well. That was really late down at turn 1 there, was still turning in and on the brakes all at the same time there, but compromised my exit. So yeah, Monza, very, very difficult to try and find huge bags of time around this circuit, because effectively all you can really do is either be really fast down the straights or pray through the corners. But 3/10 up, that sets me up nicely for qualifying, as we go just a few thousandths. Hey? Okay, apparently we didn't. Anyway, let's get into qualifying nonetheless. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. The choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, here we go then. Saturday on the fastest show in the world as we head out of the final turn. Let's see what we can muster up then on a qualifying lap here as we activate the DRS. Really hoping, you know, Q2 is going to be a possibility today. We've had a couple of near misses in recent weeks, but yeah, fingers crossed this weekend we can finally put ourselves, I think, yeah, it would be our first Q2 appearance since La Castellane. Of course, there we made it all the way into Q3 for the only time this year, but let's not try and get too far ahead of ourselves. I just desperately want points this weekend. Monza and Singapore, 2 very different circuits, but often been 2 happy hunting grounds for me. So there's a lot of curb on the way in. Just to keep the throttle down though on the way out. But yeah, we'll see what happens, but just want to try and desperately make it through. Ford Russell immediately down sub 120s though, so clearly all the pace over the last couple of years has not been lost around the 10th of the speed as we head down in towards the final couple of turns. Feet here on the way in. Oh! Felt a big wobble from the rear end there as Haas. They should go well around this circuit as well there. We only come through for a 21.1, but there was definitely a lot more pace to be had. Safe to say that first lap was definitely not one to write home about then, as currently down in P21. We need about another second here if we want any sort of looking at Q2, but we often also see the AI improve rapidly as the sessions unfold there. It's back down towards the first corner. Oh, come on, get it slowed down there. A little bit of snag on the brakes. And that, oh, actually, it's not been too bad through the first chicane there. We're marginally down, but I mean, we're talking a frame or so as we head out of the first couple of turns. Let's just keep it clean. Monza is such a weird track to try and drive around. You really just cannot try and force time out of it. You have to let the time come to you. As 3/10 up as we head down into Ascari there, really attack the curbs all the way through. You can get away with a little bit more curb usage this year than on F1 2021 there. The sausage curbs on the inside don't seem to upset your rhythm as badly anymore. It's 4.5 tenths up, but we need to nail the final turn. Oh, again, just a little bit of a lock-up on the way in, but fingers crossed we'll find some time on the way out there. Ran a little bit wide over the curb in on the exit. It's going to be a 6/10 improvement, and that only puts us quicker than Hamilton there, Drogovic, on a 20.2. We're going to need a worldie of a lap here if we want to try and bolster our way up the order. Right, final run then in Q1. Everyone else currently on a lap then, as we're going to head over the start-finish line. Shortest run back down towards turn 1, but we need a good lap here to break down in towards the first corner. Again, a little bit of a lock-up on the way in. We'll try to avoid any wheel spin on the way out there, and 4th gear is the key out of that first turn there. You can see already 2 tenths up immediately. I've brought the front wing down by 1 extra click as well, just so we've got a tiny bit more down the straights. Just trying to get everything out of it now. I know I said last lap you just can't try and find time here. You gotta let the time find you. But at the moment, I'm getting desperate, as now suddenly other times are changing around me. Not too sure what's happening. Oh, I ran a little bit too early on the brakes through Ascari, but we'll get nice on the throttle on the exit, and that'll carry me as we head down this back straightaway there. Hamilton down onto an 18.9. Sainz goes even faster. Ever there was a race Ferrari wanted to win, of course it would be here. But finally, nice tidy run out of the final corner. It is going to be another 3/10 improvement. Is it going to be enough for Q2? No, it's not. P19. Every week I get hyped up that we might have done a good qualifying lap, and every time we still end up out in Q1. I'm pushing like crazy, and I just cannot do anything. You can have a look then at the final race result, final qualifying results. Even Sainz fastest then ahead of Hamilton, and Lando Norris in P3 there. McLaren once again showing pace after that race victory here last year. I mean, look at that Williams, Alex Albon P11 there, Nicholas Latifi P15, and I mean, what, we were 2-3 tenths away from, yeah, Pierre Gasly up in P10 there. It just goes to show how ridiculously tight this midfield is on F1 22 there. Drogovic was, what, less than a tenth of a way from getting out of Q1, so the car has definitely got pace. We just haven't quite got the luck at the moment there. We're a bit like Williams in real life, it feels. We've got close to enough pace, but just not quite enough in qualifying. Fingers crossed, though, in the race, with a bit of slipstream, some DRS, we can try and move our way up towards the points there. I mean, anyone down from, what, Yuki Tsunoda and below, it's all to play for here, from really about P9 back. Let's get into it then here for the Italian Grand Prix. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula 1 World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today, here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen and Perez, Bottas, Ocon, Sainz and Pierre Gasly, Tsunoda, Stroll, Lando Norris and Drogovic, Vettel, Mr. Monaco, Mick Schumacher and Daniel Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Albon, Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
Bro, Crofty, I've had one crash all year that took me out of a race, and immediately he's honest, going, he's washed up, he's in the bin, get him out. What's that about? Never had that before on an F1 game here. But then we are then at the Temple of Speed here from Monza, 27 laps ahead of us, and as always, it's a medium-hard strategy here today. But that might explain why so many cars were just that little bit quicker than us in qualifying. A lot of penalties around the venue as well there. So fingers crossed, you know, we've got a fairly fresh engine still in, but obviously not quite the brand new extra ponies that a few other cars around us have had. So a P16 on the grid here with Drogovic just in front of me. But yeah, need to try and get a good start. Of course, a massive run down towards turn 1 here at Monza, but a lot of fast cars behind us as well. Things I feel today are going to get spicy, and I now got to try and prove Crofty and Anthony Davidson wrong. Right, let's get ready then, try and line ourselves up on the grid. Oh, nice big burnout then. As we head up towards our grid slot, got to make sure we get it slowed down nice and tidy. There we go.
Okay, incredible parking there. Nice.
Angled a little bit towards the middle.
Good launch as the race starts.
Right, let's do it then. Here from Monza, round 15, sorry, of the year. Round 16 even, I should say. 5 red lights. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go. Oh, we had a little bit of wheel spin in the initial phase there, but luckily he was able to stamp it out. As Mick Schumacher immediately then going to try and have a look past me down towards turn 1. No, Mick, please. I'm so sorry. Oh, there we go. Well, actually, make it through turn 1 cleanly. That was a surprise there, considering I Mick Schumacher swing across in the brakes, and I thought I was going to absolutely murder Lance Stroll. But we get through turn 1 nice and tidy, moving up 3 places for good measure there. So decent little start here at Monza, as you can already see. Carlos Sainz trying to have a look past the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly there. All Pierre gets a little bit out of shape on the exit, but lives to fight another day as Lando Norris. We've seen some impressive runs of pace from him so far this year, but is that going to continue from Monza? Not if he tries to go for a move up the inside of the second Lesmo on lap 1. I'm always going to slam the door on that one there, as I think Mark warned us that we had some slight damage on the energy store, as Pierre Gasly now is going to lose P9 in this Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz probably a man on a mission early on. Here is Lance Stroll now going to try and have a look for it. As yeah, you can see the energy store up to 57% wear, so it shouldn't be too bad this weekend, but certainly we'll want to get that swapped out rather soon there, as Lance Stroll tries to hook it up around the outside of Pierre Gasly at the final corner. Lando Norris, he's going to steamroll past me. We'll wave goodbye to Lando. It was lovely racing you today, mate. There is 3 wide up the road as we head back down towards turn 1. Who's going to come out on top in this situation? Tsunoda might just pull out a whirly of a move, as we're actually not going to let Lando Norris have that one line down. And look at that Tsunoda. He might just have done a cheeky double overtake there through turn 1. The AlphaTauri is going to continue to go side by side here. We're using a lot of battery early on to try and make moves happen there. As Stroll now going to sit defensive from me into the second chicane. So we're all getting a little bit out of shape there. I'm going to try and squeeze Stroll out on the exit. And we've gone from losing 1 place to Lando, actually gaining 1 then on Sir Lance, as we need to try and stick within the DRS of those AlphaTauris. I feel like they are going to be a little bit quicker than me in race trim if I don't have it. Oh, Lando Norris and Lance Stroll already trying to dispute P13 in this Grand Prix, and apparently neither of them are going to get it. Seb's now going to move up into P13, but all I'm seeing behind is just a gap opening up early on here in this Grand Prix, as we're just trying to stick close to Yuki and Pierre. Need to try and hang on through this Lesmo.
Tsunoda for you. They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
There we go. That might make the move on Tsunoda a little bit easier there, as Yuki with clearly some issues. So we might be able to fly past him. We're going to have to try and time it so we stick within the range of Pierre here. Still very, very early on in this Grand Prix, as you can just see. Tsunoda dropping back slightly away from his teammate here, but he needs to get a nice run out of the final corner. His top end speed are actually still pretty competitive around this circuit. It's just the fact the AI, I think, have got unlimited battery, or have certainly got a lot more at their disposal than I have early on in the game cycle here, as Tsunoda now going to use a bit of DRS as we head back down towards turn 1, but both of us trying to just stick within the 1 second of Pierre. Or apparently Pierre's going to brake a little bit early in towards turn 1. I'm going to have to go for a move. I mean, it was a last-ditch attempt there, but it was just more trying to avoid the young Japanese driver. Now up to P11 then, F1's worst position, and Gasly's got the 1 second margin. That's annoying. There's Charles Leclerc at the front, just walking away as he often does. Yeah, so just monitoring the gaps around us then in this Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly's definitely got a little bit extra in the back pocket, and now Lando Norris is starting to close back in again. So maybe if Lando gets to me, might have to just let him by and then hope he can drag us up to Pierre. But yeah, monitoring the big gaggle of cars in front though. Hoping sort of if I think it's Bottas and I want to say Esteban Ocon who are battling, you know, if they can try and slow each other down a bit, then maybe Pierre, Lando and I could try and get a little bit closer. But just kind of just sitting, letting the laps rack by early on, as I think that was Ocon trying to make a move work on Carlos Sainz again. But yeah, we're just trying to keep it tidy, keep it clean early on. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues. I think they've just gone in the gravel trap. I'm going to say it was a Williams, and therefore I'm going to say it was probably Latifi. Yeah, very tempted just to sort of let Lando past us when he gets close and then just try and use the DRS so he can drag me along. Just look at how quick that McLaren is out of the final corner as we reach 1/3 race distance. Lando Norris going to slot up now into P11. Yeah, at the moment though, Mark, I think we're going to have to think longer term in this race. As long as we stay close to the McLaren, maybe he can drag us back to Pierre and the cars in front. Gap to Gasly, 3.5 now. Monza, when you think about it, is such a weird track. I mean, we're now taking a good few tenths a lap out of Pierre Gasly just by sitting behind Lando Norris. But imagine someone announced this as a Formula 1 circuit now. Yeah, I'm just going to build, what, 6 long straights and a few chicanes in them. That no one would think that's a good Formula 1 circuit, but because it's been here forever. I mean, I love Monza, don't get me wrong, but just because it's been here forever, people just kind of accept it still. It's really funny. Right, Team Monison then at the end of this lap, and we need a tidy stop here because Lando Norris is carrying me along rather nicely still. As just really trying to attack that inside curve through turn 1. But how many other cars are we going to see them box at the end of this one? I mean, we've still got, I think is it Mick Schumacher? I think it's Mick Schumacher who's running up in P5 there, defending for his life from a huge gaggle of cars, as it is still just us three trying to close in. Charles Leclerc then from the race lead into the pits. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of other cars follow him in, as the gap to Pierre has now come down to 2.5, but he's definitely very, very close to that huge train of cars there. Will Lando Norris box the end of this one? No, he will not. So nice and brave on pit entry, just about get it slowed down then on the way into the pits. Charles Leclerc looks like he'll come out in some clear air there as Daniel Ricciardo, his teammate, into the pits, but we need to try and get a nice, calm, collected stop. Only good that time. That's rather frustrating. It is K-Mag that's hanging on for dear life as well up there, as 2.8 isn't great. Team apparently okay with that one, as now we're going to be out in no man's land on cold rubber. Oh, we're going to have to push like crazy this lap. We want to stay close to Lando. Well, we've had to use a lot of battery over this lap just to try and make sure we stay close enough to Pierre. We have lost a few tenths as the lap's gone on, but I don't think we've done as badly as we often would. Felipe Drugovich into the pit lane. Because where is Lando? There he is. He's way up the road. How's Lando Norris done that then? He's going to have cold rubber as he heads back out of the pits, but surely we're not going to be able to get back within the 1 second range of Lando Norris here as we head out of turn 1. How still on cold rubber is he able to out-traction me out of that first corner there? We're now 1.6 back. We need either a safety car or some reliability issues for cars in front now if we want any chance in this Grand Prix. Or just to somehow have a little bit of extra pace that I've been missing all afternoon. Yellow flag's out. Someone's got issues up the road then. Oh, it's Valtteri Bottas with yellow flags out then. So could we see a safety car in this Grand Prix? We're now going to be back up once again into F1's worst position of P11 here. But are we going to see a safety car when Bottas eventually pulls over? I'm not convinced he will. I think he might get it slowed down in a okay spot. He is parking the bus a little bit in the middle of the road there as Bottas out of the Italian Grand Prix there, but no safety car. That is so frustrating for me, but we just need one more like that from a car in front, and we will then be up into the points. It's not what I want to wish for in this career mode, might I add, but if there's points available, we want them. And even if there's not points available, I want to find a way that then they are. The other problem I've got now with 10 to go is Mick Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo are all now a bit on a mission. I can all sense I'm vulnerable in this Grand Prix as we're losing time to the cars in front. We just don't have the pace to hang on without the DRS there. Of course, they're all just DRSing each other along. So, yeah, the lack of performance is just getting magnified in this GP. But 2.7 seconds still to Mick behind. I definitely want to try and hang on to this place if I can, just in case things do kick off up the road, which they aren't at the moment, but they might start to a little bit more. Oh, we got more yellow flags out. Someone else has got issues. Who is it in this Grand Prix there? Looks like Carlos Sainz. Ferrari nightmare at their home Grand Prix. And we are now going to be up into the points here at Monza. I don't know if Sainz is out or whether he's just... No, he can't span down the front straight. Surely not. No, there we go. Sainz out.
Okay, they're out of this race.
So 2 Ferrari power units then going up, and we've got a safety car. Does that help me, or does that screw me? That is the real question. I don't think it's worth pitting, because, well, I mean, we're in the points. If we pit now, we're going to lose the places and probably not gain the time. Now, the final few laps here are just going to be desperately trying to hang on to the cars in front. Well, having a look then at the current running order, Charles Leclerc was definitely a man that got screwed by that safety car. He had a comfortable about 10-second lead over anyone else in this GP. But Hamilton, Verstappen and Perez just now behind him once more. Kevin Magnussen doing a fantastic defensive drive to still be in P5 there. We're now been promoted to P10 in this Grand Prix, and I'm going to hold up my hands and admit these final few laps I'm going to have to be an almighty dick to try and keep Sebastian Vettel behind us here, because a point gain for us is a point Aston Martin loses, and that could be critical come the end of the championship. The same could actually be said for Pierre Gasly in front. I always forget AlphaTauri have had such a quiet year as well there. Drogovic still sat down in P19, but we won't have many laps to go then. We're going to have full battery as well. We're just going to have to sit defensive and pray we can get some good traction here, and maybe I'm going to try and go aggressive on Gasly as well on the restart. Right, 3 to go then here from Monza, and this safety car really has taken us right towards the end of the Grand Prix. But like I said, going to try and go on the offensive here on Pierre Gasly as we head out of the final corner. Got a big snap of oversteer as we head on towards the line, but we just haven't got enough speed. Where's the speed? Come on, I'm going to have to use so much battery. Back down towards turn 1, and Pierre Gasly's gone for a move. Oh, we've tried to follow him there. Tiny bit of contact with Lando Norris, and maybe Pierre Gasly's been told the same thing by Franz Tost there, because he's now over to P6 of the Grand Prix. We're just trying to now put cars between myself and Sebastian Vettel there, but Pierre Gasly and myself both could be on for our best results of the year here, but we've just got to try and keep it clean and tidy through these final couple of laps there. We had to be brave, we had to be aggressive, but I didn't think we'd jump a Mercedes and a McLaren down at turn 1, as now we're already losing distance there as Lando Norris thinks about going for the same move he attempted on lap 1. Didn't work then for him and won't work now, as now the 2 young feisty Brits behind us going to try and battle their way down in towards Ascari. Could this give us a little bit of breathing room that we could desperately do with in this Grand Prix, or will Lando Norris just squeeze him out? It looks like... No, George Russell's pulled it off. How is George Russell done that round the outside there, but now we've got 2 laps to go. We need to hang on. Oh no, we've got no energy. Defend the inside from George Russell. Like I said, we're going to have to get the elbows out on these final couple of laps there, as George Russell so much later on the brakes down at turn 1, but we will say absolutely not, as Esteban Ocon now shifts back past Pierre Gasly there. Wish we got a little bit closer to seeing if we could have capitalised on that one. But yeah, we've got to focus on our mirrors, I think, later on in the day. AlphaTauri might be a little bit too quick to battle out in the Constructors' Championship, but 4 points today would massively help us against Aston Martin. 1 lap to go then here from the Temple of Speed, and I think George Russell and the McLarens continue to trip over each other. They're big wobble as we try and put the power down out of the final corner, but we've got no battery left either. Charles Leclerc once again has just dominated off the restart. It looks like both Red Bulls are going to try and make their way past Lewis Hamilton in a tightly contested Constructors' Championship. But oh, look at Pierre Gasly sparking away as we head back down through turn 1 there. We've just got 1 lap to try and hang on though from this Italian GP here. The Temple of Speed, like I said, it's often delivered some happy memories before on the F1 games. We had a P10 back in Imola, we had a P9, I can't actually remember where we got a P9 in this championship, but can we go one better today? As down into Ascari then on the final lap of this Grand Prix, they're still duking it out for the places in front of me there. Oh, took a lot of curb on the way in there. Pierre Gasly though. Oh, where are we going? Ah, please don't do that on the final lap of this Grand Prix. Look at the run it's giving George Russell down in towards the final corner. We're going to be side by side with the Mercedes. Is he quite going to have enough to hook it up round the outside there? We might just have to slam the door on that one. And George Russell will have to back out. Charles Leclerc's 2nd win here at Monza, but we're going to come through. Best race of the year, P8.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
They made great use of the clear air today and didn't allow anyone to exploit the slipstream behind them. What a great win here at Monza. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today, an incredible performance.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, finally then, after so much heartbreak over the most recent races there, you know, Spa P11, then we had, of course, Zandvoort with the reliability, the reliability issues with my driving, I guess you could say there, of course, the DNF, which robbed Drogovic as well of a very, very good result there. We finally get more points on the board here at Monza. Charles Leclerc, though, I mean, just walked away with it this weekend. Pole position, fastest lap, He led, I think, every lap bar the one he pitted, and yeah, just never... I mean, even after the safety car, he's still up a 3-second lead pretty much immediately at the end of the day there. Verstappen comes through for P2 ahead of Hamilton and Kevin Magnussen there. Perez in P5 ahead of Ocon and Gasly. We come through in 8th ahead of George Russell and Lando Norris rounding out the top 10 there. So yeah, lost out a couple of points to AlphaTauri, but certainly made big gains on Aston Martin as well there, and that is absolutely critical late on in the game there. Having a look at the rest of your finishers, Drogovic down in P19, Sainz and Bottas, the only two not to make it to the checkered flag. How after that safety car did Latifi still finish 20 seconds away from anyone? I'm really not too sure there. But yeah, having a look then at the championship, Charles Leclerc's lead at the top opens up massively there. Another 26 points gained over his teammate and closest rival Carlos Sainz there. 89 now, the gap. So, I mean, really, Charles Leclerc could be wrapping this up in about 3 or 4 races' time there. K-Mag jumps Valtteri Bottas, Lando Norris re-jumps Mick Schumacher there, with Pierre Gasly as well, bolstering his way up the order ahead of ourselves. We're up to P15, though, with that one. We've gone from 19th to 15th there with that result, so incredibly happy with that one. I definitely feel, you know, we could, with one more decent result, jump Pierre Gasly there, and I think P14 would be respectable at the end of the year. Constructors-wise, 1 point now back behind Aston Martin, but still 8 away from AlphaTauri, so we need a couple of big results if we want to still try and finish P8 overall in the championship. But feel like we're generally making progress in the right direction at this stage of the campaign. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will return very soon. We'll be back in Singapore. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.